Well, Danny, first things first. I mean, job done. You want to qualify for the quarterfinals, and you're there with a game to spare.
Yeah, pleasing from that point of view. It's kind of job done, but at the same time, I think to get perhaps what we want out of a quarter-final in terms of a home leg, I think it's important we go out there and make sure we do a job and get a win, and also for momentum's sake, carry on with the way we've been going. A good test to go out to Connacht. I've been there a number of times in the Rabo, and I know how tough it is to go there and win against any Connacht side. Conditions will probably play a major part, depending. But a fixture and a test that I know the boys are looking forward to.
Yeah, and is that one of the excitements, the attractions to some of the players who will probably never have played over in Ireland before?
Yeah, I think so. It's a different challenge that from what we face week in, week out. You know, if you start from the travel, we've obviously got a flight over there, and we've got a much longer travel, which is something that we have to account for, and we don't do that in this league, as you know. We travel on the bus to all journeys and so on. So it's a little bit longer time away, longer time to manage yourself in terms of being where you need to be ready for the fixture. So that's a challenge for us, or for this group, and also the opposition and the facility and the conditions that we'll play at will have a bearing. We've got to be aware of those conditions and how they can change, and be able to, if you like, put a game plan and a performance that will suit them enough to get a win.
And what did you make of Connacht when you saw them at Ashton Gate earlier this season?
Yeah, I mean, you saw from that game we scored some good tries, and I think it was one of our best set-piece days, scoring 6 set-piece tries. But they came right back into the game. I know Sean was fuming with the way we finished that game defensively. And we need to, and have since then, put those things right, definitely, but we need to show that we've put them right enough against the same opposition. I think they probably put out stronger teams recently in this competition than maybe they did in the team that came to Ashton Gate. And although they'll have a European fixture the same weekend, they've got a big enough squad that they'll be able to put out some experienced players, which will give us a test.
And from a forwards perspective, I would imagine pretty happy with a lot of what you saw on Friday night against London Scottish.
Yeah, perhaps we still left 1 or 2 drives out there, if I'm honest, but we're pleased with our driving line-out game. That I think we got 4 penalties, a yellow card, and a try from that sort of area of the game, from the pressure we created from that area of the game. But moving on to probably how we felt as a team, we definitely left a huge amount out there, considering we had an unbelievable dominance first half in terms of territory and possession, and only to come away with 2 scores was really disappointing. And we've looked at that in detail this week and showed perhaps some of the areas that we left tries out there and didn't put scores away to be comfortably ahead by half time. And likewise in the second half, although London Scottish came back into the game second half, we still had a number of opportunities that, if I'm honest, we butchered. So those things we want to put right as a team, and we want to make sure that our performance, in terms of converting pressure into points, is better than it was on the weekend.
And does that almost give you heart in a way that different stages of games this season, parts of your game, whether it's forwards, backs, points scored defensively, have come together? You haven't had it all come together as one nice neat package yet, though, probably.
No, we haven't. Not a complete performance, if you like, for the game. But then, there's an argument to say, do you ever get that complete performance? We've got to get closer to it. We've put together some really good 40 minutes of rugby, but probably either first half or second half haven't necessarily backed that up the other way. We're determined to do that at the moment. I think what you have seen, as I've said before, is we're developing a squad. You've seen some great performances again, I thought, individually on Friday night, after we'd perhaps rotated and changed a few players. I thought Rhys Lawrence, from a carrying point of view, had a really strong game, amongst others, and it was pleasing to see that from boys that maybe haven't had a huge amount of rugby recently. So we'll be looking to do that again, and like I said, improve the performance to get an away win that will be really beneficial for our season and for this competition.
You mentioned the driving lineouts. It's something, I don't know whether it's just the games that I've seen this season in the Premiership, but it seems to see more and more of that. Teams are almost using that as a sort of weapon to bludgeon the opposition, to try and bully them. Is it something that's happening more and more, or is it just the matches I've seen?
I think that conditions sometimes dictate. I mean, if you think we moved into a period of the year where the weather is inconsistent in terms of rain and wind, and I think sides use that weapon, especially in the Premiership, as you've seen. You know, the Premiership is a big set piece league, hence we know we've got to have a big set piece if we're going to get in there and stay in there, and that's our aim and that's our ambition. So we need to develop a set piece that can score driving lineouts, can obviously keep driving lineouts out, which we're doing relatively okay at the moment, and a scrum that's a weapon both for and against. And if we can do it in this league week in, week out, that's, like I said, our objective, then if and when we go up, we're in a position where we'll be more comfortable about our set piece, because the league above is a phenomenal set piece league, and that is the challenge for myself as a forwards coach and us for a group of forwards here to be able to produce and maintain that.